Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Getting ready to go on our second camping trip with the 2022 Ford Maverick and my Fleetwood Taos. This is going to be a fun one. We got the tires checked, everything's ready to go, we're all packed up. Let's hit the road. Welcome to my channel. Alright, our trip today is 2 hours and 22 minutes, mostly Route 86 in New York across the southern tier. We're staying at Stony Brook State Park. This will be our second camp out, second time staying at a state park. Stony Brook's an interesting park. I went there once when I was a kid. Should be some pretty cool stuff to see there, and I'll be bringing you along on the trip. All right, everybody, we're at the campground. It took us about 2 hours and 22 minutes, like I said. Maverick was averaging 21, almost 22 miles per gallon. We had to go a lot of mountains again, but we are set up at Stony Brook State Park. This is site 325. Not a bad setup. There's no electricity to any of the sites here whatsoever. We were the first ones in here. These folks just came in a little bit ago setting up their camper. This would have been a tough spot for me to back into though, 325. But this is our setup so far. We still got a couple things in the back of the truck. Probably won't get those out till tomorrow. Of course, we go out here in nature. My wife still got a text message and see what's going on Facebook and playing games. But this is our setup so far. If it rains a little bit, which we're not really expecting any rain, I could still move like our grill and stuff underneath. Probably won't use the fire pit. Every site has a fire pit. Like I said though, there's no electricity whatsoever. Really close proximity to the bathrooms. A couple folks over there was set up earlier with tents. All right, good morning folks. It's our first morning at camp. It's Saturday morning, getting ready to make some coffee and stuff now. A little chilly out, so I got our little buddy heater out. It wasn't bad in the camper, but this is how we're doing coffee all weekend, trying the percolator out. Got some Gavelia coarse ground. Coarse ground's always the best for percolators. And of course we got our little teapot short and stout. That's going to be for either grits or oatmeal, depending on which one we decide to have today. We're going to do corned beef hash tomorrow. I get to try to use my Royal Gourmet, the flat top. I've never used that part, but not too bad. Same person still over there. Nobody else came in last night. We had some couple of guys camping out in the motorcycles over there. Kind of jealous myself. I'd like to be doing that too, but can't do both. All right, folks, we just finished up our coffee and our breakfast. Just had some oatmeal today. Got a chance to talk to the guys that are in camp next to us. They rode from Canada. They're down here camping. They're going to go down into PA here from New York now. Nice guys. Had a chance to check out how their setup is. Something I want to do in the future, so we went over and talked to them a little bit. Nice guys. They've been all over the country, so all right, everybody, I'm going to take a little drive around the campground, kind of give you guys a tour of what's out here so far. We're in the 300 section. This was the only neighbor we had other than the bikers that were over there from Canada that I talked to earlier. But we'll go ahead and take a little ride around here, check it out. Like I said, there is the other part of the state park too that we'll have to do a tour of later, but let's see, I like that little camper there. That's pretty cool. The kitchen and those are in the back. That's the one you can't really stand up in, so but that one has the convenience of having the camper. They got a big awning on it though. That's pretty interesting. I like seeing what everybody has at the campground. All right, we're in the upper part. I'm going to say one thing with this campground is the roads are very narrow, and they're two different directions still for the campground. At least it seems like it. There's some little cabins there if you're interested in the little cabins. There's a little playground here. That's their bathroom with some hand sanitizer apparently. But nice setup here. People with their tents too. There's a water fill station if you need to fill up. Like I said, there's no water or electric at this campground at all. But this is a nice little loop here though with the cabins. It'd be kind of cool to rent those out. The cabins each have their own name, I see. We'll go check out some of the other stuff up this way. But like I said, these are very narrow. So just take that into consideration when you're using a bigger RV. Another water fill station. All right. Yeah, we got another playground down here. We're going down through the 400 section though. Everything's really tight down here. That's one thing with this campground. I noticed the roads are really narrow and the spots are really tight. So I think this is more geared toward tent camping and really small campers. But there are some people here with some decent sized campers, not RVs or anything. I haven't seen any full-size RVs. Another hybrid camper. These spots are pretty big. But still, like I said, it's hard to get through here. Pavement's not very good, but there's a big trailer. That's more like a toy hauler setup there, but that's a cool one. That's a tent with the heater and everything in it. But like I said, these sites are really tight and packed together. Okay folks, when you first come into the park too, there is a fill station right here for your camper. There's a hose and drinking water set up there. But this is where you first come into the park. I say it is a nice park. So far it's been pretty good staying here. So they say this is our first night. My only real complaint was you could hear people going in and out of the bathrooms at nighttime. It was fairly quiet here, but like a lot of the bathroom doors slam shut. So every time somebody went to the bathroom, you knew about it. You can hear the hand dryers too, but that's what we picked, the spot close to the bathrooms, and I think you probably hear those doors closing through the whole park. Everyone, we're night number 2. We went to have lunch with my mom. We ended up going to a cidery and a couple breweries and stuff. Some pretty good stops on the way back here. Had lunch at, you know, about an hour away. So, but we're having a late dinner, candlelight dinner, if you will, lantern dinner. But we got our dollar citronella candles that we picked up at Walmart a while ago. Had the propane heater ready to go in case it gets cold out here. But we got the Royal Gourmet grill going. I've had this in a couple videos now. We had sausages last night. Tonight we're having bacon cheddar burgers. These are just burgers from Walmart that were pre-made. It's a lot easier when you're camping out here, especially when it's dark out. Only one other couple showed up tonight. They're tent camping over there. Our biker friends, of course, like I said, left. So there's nobody over here now. Another camper got set up over there while we were gone. Tent people left. I'm going to go over and take pictures of that tent camper tomorrow. Pretty cool. It was one of those old canned hams, which I kind of want. But this here, of course, if you can see it, is a lantern I picked up from Walmart before our first trip. This is actually from Walmart. It's solar powered and it cranks, and you can also plug it into a USB to plug it, charge it up. Go ahead and check that out. I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff, folks. I'm just giving you some ideas. Like I said, we're no electric here tonight. Good morning, folks. This is morning number 3 at the campground here at Stony Brook State Park. I'm actually going to start this part of the video out with some complaints. My biggest complaint so far, we have the shared bathroom in there, and somebody completely destroyed that bathroom, cleaning up their grill and all their dishes. They left food in the sinks and everything. And of course, like I said before, those doors slam. That's all you hear is the doors slam, and they echo through this entire park. And there's a group of younger kids down there, probably in their 20s. The park's supposed to be quiet after like 10 o'clock, after 9 o'clock actually, and they were out till about 1 o'clock in the morning making noise, screaming, loud car playing music. Yeah, so that's my complaint for this one so far. But I did want to walk over here and show you. There's a couple cool campers out here. Something different. There's a different variety you see when you go to the parks. You got that canned ham style camper, which is pretty cool. Something I'd always like to have, you know. They got a hooked up to their Chevy truck, and then you got your kind of like overlanding type setup with a tent on top of the roof rack of the SUV over there. Some of the cool things you see when you go camping, you know. Like I said, there's our lovely setup there. I slept all right last night. Like I said, we got plans to finally go see the waterfalls today, so tried to get some sleep, tried to get rested up today. Last full day here at camp. All right, folks, we drove down to Stony Brook State Park. This is the actual park that you go to. We get in for free because we're camping. They're actually doing some construction now. They're going to have some new stuff updated for next year. They're building a facility for the lifeguards and like a bathhouse and everything. But there are trails that walk to the campground. We chose to drove over here because we have other stuff to do. But we're going to take a walk down to the falls. No swimming today. I don't know why you'd want to anyway, because it's been pretty cold out here during the day. Like we're in the low 50s. Pretty cold for swimming, but we're going to go ahead and take a walk down there. On the way in here, they also have a little baseball field. They have tennis courts with a basketball, you know, hoop, and there's a lot of stuff for families to do here. Pavilion you can rent, all kinds of stuff, but this is nice. I haven't been here in years. We're going to go ahead and walk and take a look at some of the waterfalls. All right, folks, there's some trails too. We just came into this part, but this is the West Rim Trail. If you're a little bit more adventurous and like to climb upstairs, you got that. We're probably going to go straight down this trail for now. This is another one of those things where it's bad timing that we're here right now during the construction. There is actually a spot right there with a little bit of a waterfall where normally you would be able to walk across that. I remember walking across that when I was a kid, but right now everything's closed off because they're doing the construction. Looks like they're probably going to end up putting new bridges and stuff over there, but that is one of the smaller waterfalls. All right, we came down the bottom here. You can still walk along here in this bottom trail even though there's construction. Give you a little view of the lower fall. I'm not sure if you can actually swim in this one. It looks like at one point you probably could swim in this part because they do have it marked for like the depths and stuff, and I probably showed you that up top, but obviously right now that's not 8 foot, but it looks like they do kind of dam that off. There is little dividers down there, but this is one of the nice things about this park, folks. Lots of picnic tables. There's a big bathroom facility up there. Lots of, like I said, picnic tables, place to eat, another bathroom facility there. Trails are clearly marked. Of course, nice little bridge here. You know, some places are marked where you can't swim. Just great. And if you want a guided tour of the park, they have a little QR code here you can scan for your phone. That's pretty cool. Or you can call the number. We're going to go ahead and walk up some of these trails now. As you can see here, folks, too, we're walking up here a pretty steep hill. This, unfortunately, would not be handicap friendly or for the elderly. You have a lot of walking. There are some little bit of steps that they built here, but I'm breathing hard. But once you do get up that little bit of a hill, you kind of level off. So if you can survive that little bit of a hill, it's worth it for the view. We're going to be directly above the falls and everything up here, so as long as you can make that little bit of a hill, you should be fine. Here's actually a view of where we were a few minutes ago, down the bottom, where that construction area was. See if I can get through the trees to show you. But within just a few minutes of a hike, you're right above this lower falls area. All right, we're still on the trail. There is another tough spot that you have to climb up here. Let's say it's not rough walking, it's just there is a lot of climbing. A couple different sections of really steep hiking. Like I said, it's not difficult unless you're really in bad shape. But let's say we got a little bit of a hill we're coming up for the second time for this part of the elevation. Really pretty up here though. Let's say it's a little bit of a hike, folks. Like I said, if you're elderly or handicapped, you're probably not going to be able to make this hike. I'm getting close to being both, unfortunately. I believe we might be at the highest elevation here. It looks like it anyway on the trail. We actually start going downside the hill, so, but it doesn't look like the trail is going to go up any higher than this. I wish they had a marker somewhere that told you what the elevation was. I really would have liked to know what the climb was coming up here, you know, something at the beginning of the trail or up here at the highest point. All right, folks, we're at the point where we're almost directly above the waterfall. You can see where the rocks formation and stuff is on the other side. We still have one more little climb to go around. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see it through here. I can kind of see the water through the fence. And of course, you can hear it. You can hear people on the other part of the trail. But unfortunately, we got one more little climb to go up. All right, we're pretty far up in the trail so far. We kind of went past the one waterfall, and I can hear another waterfall coming up in the distance, but we're still climbing. We're definitely getting our workout today. I see a lot of people with their families and couples hiking up here so far. Really pretty. We're getting very high up now. Still got a little ways to go. All right, folks. I'm at one spot now. We have these concrete pieces. Actually, part of the railroad system used to go through here at one time. It's kind of cool way up here in the mountain. Just kind of a stop here. If you want more of it, of course, it's tour stop number 206 on the trail. I'm actually going to listen to that a little bit as I'm hiking down to the next part. But pretty cool. I was wondering what these are for. All right, we finally have a visual confirmation of a waterfall. This is Larry's Lookout. There's a nice waterfall right there. This isn't the one with the swimming hole on the bottom, but this is the one that they actually kind of picture in the brochures or whatever you call it. Try to get the best look of it as I can, I guess. Really pretty. Let's say the water's not really deep at the bottom. This is not the swimming hole though, folks. I think the swimming hole is further down. All right, we're still working our way around, but there is a nice little camping area up here too. Once we got past Larry's Lookout, nice little area. Doesn't look like it's officially part of the campground itself. It looks more like it's part of the state park. But like I said, there are trails you can actually walk over here. There was a little road where these people could drive down here and camp. They got a little bathroom for them too. This is kind of a nice little spot though. You got the waterfall and everything in the background. All right, we did go through that little camping area. I believe the campground that we're actually staying at's up there. We're kind of looping around the trail, but this is really pretty here. The water's not real high. We haven't had a lot of rain recently, so we'll just, and I know I can't hear this from the campground, so it's really pretty. I do believe we're actually starting to loop back around though, because this is the first time we've crossed over again. Really pretty here. Yeah, folks, we're actually at our campground now. We walked up from the trail bottom. We could have walked from the campground, of course, but we drove down. Didn't know how far it is. It's our first time here, so pretty cool though. Like I said, if you're staying at the state campground, I know our campsite's up that way somewhere. But, and I hear the noisy people that were making noise last night, so we're not too far from them. I was really hoping they were leaving today. And so far what we've done, folks, we walked up to the campground. We were actually following the East Rim Trail down from the state park. And now what we're going to be doing, we're going to be heading out back toward the state park. Starting off the west side trail a little bit on the moist side. Walking away from the campground and heading back to the state park to get to the truck. All right, folks, we come to a fork in the road, I guess you call it. Of course, here's the sign leading back to the campground, which they didn't have that on the east side. Now we have the option of the West Rim Trail to go to the lower park, or the Gorge Trail. I think the Gorge Trail is going to be the better option. All right, this side of the west side trail, leaving the park, kind of walking down now. You see more of those formations, the trains, when they used to have the bridge going across the water here. The Gorge Trail, obviously, we get a little bit less protected with the dry ground, unfortunately, but still prettier down here. We actually finally made it to one of the waterfalls right here. This is the one we were way up on the other side earlier. This is still a really nice hike here. Well worth the trip, folks. Just staying at the campground. Even if you're not staying at the campground, check this out down here. And that's not even the biggest of the waterfalls down here. This isn't the one with the little pool in it. Another nice waterfall, folks. Working our way down the Gorge Trail still. Take your time on trail hikes like this. This is an enjoyable day. Don't be in a rush when you're going to state parks like this, especially with the beautiful waterfalls. All right, we're finishing off here at the Gorge Trail. We're kind of back to where we started now. I believe that's where we started the video right there. All right, folks, we did the east side trail. which is a little bit more difficult. You know, there's not as much to see up there. If you want to come down and do the Gorge Trail, I highly recommend it. It's a lot more easier walking down through the Gorge Trail. Not sure about the West Side Trail, what you're going to see, but you're obviously not going to see all of the Gorge. So if you're not physically fit enough, you can at least still walk down here and see the Gorge. Hopefully next year, like I said, they'll have the swimming area and everything open back up for you, and just a great experience hiking today. Good morning, everyone. This is our final day of camping, unfortunately. And of course, we still don't want to leave, but we're getting ready to pack up here. We're going to have our last breakfast at the camp. We're going to have grits and oatmeal again with our little teapot, and of course our percolated coffee. But we did enjoy our stay here. Last night was a lot quieter because that group that was down there left. So a few more people came in, a few people left, but like I said, it was a good time. I would recommend staying here. You can't blame the place for the noisy people that are here. And of course, you got the lovely state park. We did all the hiking yesterday. So thanks for watching the video. Should have some more camping videos next year. Not sure if I'm going to do anything else with the camper this year other than clean it up and get it winterized. Bye for now.